trip to Peru, to Machu Picchu. The first half of the trip was a Menudo reunion concert tour moment. Had a whole other kind of energy to it. Lots of rehearsals and promo, TV shows. And then the second half of the trip, I went with my nephew after the concert and the sweet little celebration party that we had. The next morning, we flew to Cusco, and it was mellow and llamas and ruins and the Andes. And it's so green this time of year, being the wet season. So many flowers. We stayed in a monastery that they had converted into a hotel, and they kept the orphanage that was in the back. So all of the proceeds from the hotel went to this orphanage. This is in Cusco, hmm right in downtown Cusco. It's called Monasterio San Pedro. Monasterio San Pedro. The San Pedro Monastery. It's right in front of the San Pedro Market, which is a big popular market there. And it was so beautiful, the contrasts of the experience, and to celebrate and be present for both, while still recognizing this unwavering stability of being, and that regardless of one appearance being a particular way, we can say more lively and energetic, or perfectly absurd and ridiculous and glorious. And the love fest that's there, the support that's there, the relationships that are there for over 30 something years, all the work of the promoters and our producers, and I mean, wondrous display of, of the heart devoted to itself. So it's surface distinctions. And then, of course, Cusco, Machu Picchu, Sacsayhuaman, Risac, Sacred Valley, Urumbamba, the meditation, the ease, the whispers of the ancient ones, the wonder, the marvel of the architecture and the creativity and the audacity. Wondrous, wondrous. And just the sweetest internal smile, regardless of appearance, regardless of what's present. It was so sweet to go to Machu Picchu, and the sentence that came was, "Oh, this is the last place I ever went." It was the last place I ever I ever went to. Right. In the sweet um, emphasis, the innocent overemphasis of this identification of body, and body being something, going somewhere, being someone, going somewhere, and all the reference point of body, and therefore the reference point of all that applies to body. And to the degree that one imagines themselves to solely be a body is to the degree that we imagine for other things to be other things. And so this body will go all kinds of places. So it's really sweet that in that moment there was a pronounced shift in the perspective of experiencing life through the filter of a separate self, filter of an ash, of a story, of an age, of a particular gender, of a particular upbringing or faith or experience, or and noticing, oh shit, I am the space of space. The awareness of awareness, presence of presence, unwavering, unwavering, unshakable vastness. When my manager approached me after, I guess, the fourth complaint from our makeup artist, as they were trying to do my makeup for this music video, and tears just kept flowing, and this body was just in absolute awe. I was just like, they were like, I needed your cheekbones. You need to go from to. It was so hard to muster up. He was like, what's wrong with you? And I can just look at him and say, unshakable vastness. Unshakable vastness. He's like, what are you talking about? It was just the sweetest, most hilarious thing. Noticing body with all of its dancing and all of its boy band Latino movements and the shimmy shimmy and the reggae and the kimbara kimbara kumbara, and noticing that it never interrupts the stillness that is. It's the celebration of stillness, not the opposite of stillness, not the obstruction of stillness or the interruption of stillness, but just the sweet joy. It's the fun of stillness. Just as creativity is intelligence having fun, dancing is stillness having fun. Movement is stillness having fun. And then, of course, we were singing this song, and it was really sweet that the song happened to be a song called Bienvenidos al Nuevo Mundo, which means welcome to the new world. Menudo wasn't used to or known for singing these kind of welcome to the new world, peace and love. We can come together as one people to make a change in this world. We never sang those kinds of songs. Our songs were like, they were fun and cheeky and cute. And it was like, we literally had a song called Chicle de Amor, bubblegum of love. So we had a lot of bubblegum songs, as they're called, these love songs that were wondrous and wonderful, brought millions of people so much joy. So perfect. But how funny that this song, Bienvenidos al Nuevo Mundo, all of a sudden was part of our repertoire. And our manager decided the best place to film this song was in Machu Picchu. And so singing the song, Bienvenidos al Nuevo Mundo, todos unidos. Las cosas cambian, yeah. Singing the song and noticing that again, silence was not the opposite. Sound, singing, notes, vibrato, belting, vowels, consonants was not the opposite of the silence. The silence was unshakable. The stillness was unshakable. The vastness is unshakable. Is unshakable. I have a poem that says, those moments are in this moment. Those moments are this moment. And so, really sweet as we're driving up the mountain, the sentence, oh wow, how sweet. This is the last place an ash ever went. After that recognition and noticing of being this space, it's more like totally still, and there, if anything, there's a shift in the atomic structure of appearance, and now there's Peru, and now there's Colorado, and now there's Kauai, and now there's this dimension, this realm, this experience, this dream, this taste, that taste, all of it announcing this stability that is, this presence that is, this refuge that is, this refuge that is. How sweet that in the context of a live stream, a life experience, as we get, um, what's the word, acclimated to the experience of body and sensory perception and form and walking and talking and learning and pointing and reaching and instinct and hunger and then this innocent desire for security and warmth and refuge, and seeking that, finding that, experiencing that refuge, uh, for most of us, if we're lucky, in the arms of mother, in the arms of caregiver, in the arms of father, and how that theme just continues throughout our life. And all the places we look for safety, we look for shelter, we look for protection, we look for warmth, are all the places we look for silence, we look for stillness, we look for peace, we look for serenity, we look for quiet, internally, externally, all of the permission slips that we use in this seeking, all of the substances that are used in this seeking, all of the strategies, so innocent. And one thing that we may have noticed, so perfectly so, in an overemphasis of seeking refuge, peace, safety, protection, shelter from these external things, this world of this universe of phenomena, is that it comes and goes so innocently. All of a sudden, the rug's ripped out from under us. The big bad wolf of circumstance huffs and puffs and blows the house down. Relationships have their evolution. Life perfectly being life. The sweet kiss, the ruthless kiss of impermanence. So persistent. It's like we're Morticia and impermanence is Gomez, just constantly kissing all up and down our arms. So romantical, this impermanence. And if at one point in our lives we have an essential experience, or we stumble upon, or we hear uh, words, pointings, alive with, stop, be still. For a moment, this moment, be willing to put down the search. For a moment, this moment, be willing to relax the grip. For a moment, this moment, be willing to allow any internal part of us that's reaching to soften. For a moment, this moment, be willing to allow any internal part of us that's keeping life at bay or something at bay to soften. This moment, relax the search, put down the search, be willing to soften. In my YouTube queue today, a video of my yes my beloved teacher Gangaji, one of my beloved teachers, Gangaji that I call my yes, came on YouTube. And it was so sweet. It was a recent video of her speaking about the moment she met her teacher, Papaji. Oh, I have like little figurines. This Gangaji. It's like when Harry met Sally, when Gangaji met Papaji. So she had somehow found her way to India. Uh, Gangaji at this point was involved, devoted to um, Zen Buddhism, and had experienced some profound moments in this sweet offering, this sweet path of Zen Buddhism. And there was still a kernel of suffering internally, this sense of, is in this thing called enlightenment, is it actually real? Is it something that's, uh, is it a myth? Is it a legend? Why is it that I have such profound moments of bliss and peace and grace and this sense of all is well? And then the next moment, it's out the window, and fear, strategy, survival, not seeing, back to practice, back to, will it ever be something that's permanent, something alive, something effortless? And in that desire, I think I remember her speaking to living in Maui at the time and being in Makena and Big Beach in the ocean, and there was this prayer. If there is a true teacher, let this teacher find me. If there is a true teacher to what's real and who I am, this freedom that I'm longing for, may find me. And her husband had gone to India in search of a Sufi master. And he went to a particular cafe in Lucknow, India, and the Sufi master never showed up. And he asked around, and they said, hey, well, if you can't find the Sufi master, there is a gentleman sharing satsang named H.W.L. Punjaji, affectionately known as Papaji. You can always go check him out. There may have been other stuff happening in between, but this is where my memory is going. And then he finds his way to Papaji satsang, Papaji's mini ashram, and there was a profound recognition. There was a listening, a hearing, a presence, an aliveness. And he stayed. And while he was there, he would write back to Gangaji these letters. And she'd received these letters and could feel the truth in these words, the presence, the energy. Um, and she went to India. This is a woman who was raised in Mississippi, in the South. She also found her way to like Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco, and was a civil rights activist and became an acupuncturist and got involved in Zen Buddhism. Profound openings throughout her life, profound realizations, profound discoveries, and a true devotion to what is, to spirit, and still this kernel, this knot of suffering, this sense of up and down. I'm at peace, I'm contracted, I'm open, and so when she finally got to India and Papaji answered the door, she describes him as this huge, larger-than-life presence, and even reminded her of her father. and he immediately said, welcome, welcome. She felt that welcome. And then they sat down together, and he said, stop. And Gangaji heard the word stop, And Gangaji said, "Oh, I know this. I know this. I know stop." So she got in her stop posture. And Pampaji said, "No, no, 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 no. Stop." And in that moment, she realized, she noticed that there was this identification with someone stopping, attempting to stop, hoping to stop, the posture of stop. And in that recognition, she noticed what was noticing is an eternal stop, what is already stopped, what is already and never moving an inch in any direction, already just naturally, effortlessly, ever ordinarily here. This that is. This that you are. This that allows for every claymation appearance of one's life, of one's future, of one's past, of one's descriptions, one's definitions. And it was just really sweet, this after this Machu Picchu moment, and it's ridiculous that it happened in Machu Picchu. A part of me is kind of like, why couldn't it happen at In and Out? Another one of my dear teachers, her name is Candace O'Denver. Now she goes by ZG Rinpoche. She speaks to her awakening happening at Denny's. Sitting at Denny's with a moon over her hammy. And then what's so sweet about these, because there's a lot of emphasis on an awakening story, totally has its place. And how sweet to recognize in that recognition of what's here, that there's never been anyone here to awaken or not awaken. Also, just points of view appearing in this sweet stability of this ordinary, everyday, aware intelligence. Everyday aware intelligence. Closer than the awareness of a 5-MeO, a 5-MeO, 5M, 5, 5-MeO-DMT. LMNOP, a 5-MeO-DMT experience that has a profound awareness. But if it's an awareness that comes and goes, it's still just a sweet little point of view of awareness. This invitation is to notice, to finally consider, what about my now, my being, has not come or go? All spiritual experiences, as essential as they are, as the story goes, have a beginning, a middle, and an end. All near-death experiences, full-death experiences, life experiences, breath experiences, waking state, dreaming state, sleeping state have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so sweet to consider, what about me is the same when I'm awake? What about me is the same when I'm enlightened? What about me is the same when I'm ignorant? What about me is the same when I notice? What about me is the same when I don't notice? What about me is the same when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm up, when I'm down, when I'm here, when I'm there, when I'm emphasizing descriptions or emphasizing a non-conceptual state? What about me is the same? What about me has never moved? What about me is the same before the blink happens, during the blink, after the blink, the thought, the gap between the thought. What about me is the same? This plain ass cracker of aware intelligence. Also, innocent limitation of language, every attempt perfectly, divinely, beautifully failing, and perfectly announcing this. That is aware. At a session with a beloved many years ago, and every time we connect, the first thing they tell me they still laugh at is, I'm aware and I'm free, and everyone else is aware and they're free. We had a session years ago and they were asking me, what's my experience? How do I hold such secrets or such trauma or such everyone coming with all of their shit or everyone coming with all of their ancestral stuff and all of their fears and all of their. And I said, well, first of all, I don't at all see that. It's acknowledged, it's present, but the biggest part of everyone, those are wisps appearing in the total galactic mountain stability of the truth of who they are. So no matter what the story is, what the energy is, what the physical expressions of the face, of the body language, of the energetics, at one level, the deepest level, the truest conversation, all anyone ever says to me is, I'm aware, I'm free. Their story is evidence that they're aware. Their story is also evidence that they're free to experience all phenomena, all expressions, all iterations, all facets, the full spectrum of human beautiful. Human being, yes. Human becoming, that too. But mostly human beautiful. Human dreaming, yes. Human awakening, that too. But mostly human beautiful. Human emphasizing descriptions, yes. Human emphasizing awareness, that too. But mostly human beautiful. Anyone care to share anything? Or have a particular exploration? For some beloveds, this concept of refuge can appear to be an escape or some kind of isolation. And that can certainly have its place in the dream of things. And the invitation here, refuge, closer than an isolation or a kind of escapism, is an alive discovery of an uninterrupted intimacy with all of life, intimacy with every experience, as each moment, intimacy as each moment, and our willingness to consider noticing skillfully the tendency to seek refuge in phenomena and to stop for a moment and fall back, rest back as this stability of awareness, of being. We discover that refuge is our nature, and how sweet that we get to be the house, the home of refuge for every appearance within us. Let's say our feelings. Before we know this option of refuge within ourselves, we may have an interesting relationship with our feelings, a lot of resistance, an attempt to avoid, an attempt to replace, or an attempt to indulge in dancing around the fire of feelings. Again, when we think we're something, we think other things are somethings, and all of a sudden these feelings can be zombies, ghosts, phantoms, mosquitoes. So innocent, this relationship. And when we can't deal with our own emotions, heaven forbid, be in the presence of somebody else and their feelings, we're like, oh Lord, have mercy. You better take that stink somewhere else. No, no, no. Or, or constantly try to stick lollipops in people's mouths. So innocent. So innocent. Mind, again, strategizing, avoiding, replacing, and informed by fear, informed by uh, zero emotional intelligence, pretending to be emotionally intelligent, using all the right spiritual words or Bible verses or A Course in Miracle verses. So innocent, these minds relating with itself, attempting to quiet itself. And in the moment we discover the refuge, our own being, would you be willing to give him a little tap? Yes. I love the rest. It's so complete. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's so fun. That's so fun. Oh, the sweetest, the sweetest, the sweetest. And so, speaking to discovering refuge as ourselves, again, what a gift we get to be for ourselves, give to ourselves, give to these emotions, these sweethearts, these orphans in search of rest, in search of home, and to discover this option of welcoming, this option of, yes, you're welcome here, this option of your, yes, you're welcome here, and welcome here forever. Yes, you're welcome here. You never have to change. Yes, you're welcome here just as you are. As bright as you are, as tar-like as you are, as slimy as you are, as clueless as you are, as crunchy as you are, as swampy as you are. However we feel into the describing the energetics of the apparent feeling, the apparent sensation, the apparent circumstance, the apparent phenomena. In that we discover, ah, wow, I am the safest place in all the cosmos. And we know it in an embodied way, not just a sentence or a bumper sticker on a Prius. Or the name of a book in the New Age section or the self help section. But it's alive, oh yes, regardless of what unfolds, regardless of what flutters, regardless of what appears to go bump in the night, regardless of the depth of this despair, regardless of the burning of this resistance, or the bonfire of this rage, I can meet all with love and understanding. I get to be that here. It's like getting familiar with our capacity to bear, the heart of hearts capacity to bear whatever is unfolding. And as a consequence, alchemy. As a consequence, these energies get to, it's as if they're these gifts, these strange gifts in some cases, uh, blessings in disguise. And the only way they can open is in the light of welcome. The only way they can unravel, they can burst from the bud of that tightness, that misidentification. Ah, the nutrients that are extracted from these sweet, strange gifts. Mm. How wonderful to consider that these afflictive states, these afflictive sensations and emotions are gifts at your feet. Some of you probably be saying, damn, I have a lot of gifts. And it's so good. Yes, gifts at your feet that only open. We thought that indulging in them was opening them. Nope. Them bitches stay closed and tight and get bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger. Or we thought that avoiding them or hiding them, I'll open it later. They turn into bombs. But to allow, welcome, give them space, give them room, give them dignity. There's this sweet teacher, I can't remember who it was. He speaks to what if when we went to heaven and we were being judged. The only thing we were being judged for was the way we treated our emotions. And in the courtroom was sadness and fear and anger and despair and jealousy. And they all came up to, just to share their testimony of how they were treated. Every time I showed up, took me and stuffed me into a basement and tried not to feed me and called me bad and horrible, or was afraid of me and all I wanted was a piece of bread, and they kept it's like, what, how does the superego meet these emotions, you know And so I love that story. Sadness speaking anger. But in the willingness to take refuge in the silence that you are, in that taking refuge, totally has its place. More and more familiar that who you are is the refuge. You are this refuge of being. Your awareness is this refuge. Notice that the whole room is appearing in your awareness. That the whole of whole is appearing in your awareness. Every sense of anything has ever appeared in your awareness. Any sense of others having a sense of a sense appears in your awareness. Every sense of a particular school of thought, story of a past, story of a civilization, the Library of Alexandria, the Akashic Records, any descriptive sense of any descriptive sense, any possibility of any possibility, appearing as points of view in the awareness that you are. This awareness is non-local. This awareness has never been stuffed into a body. This awareness still free, still clear, still vast, still effortlessly itself. Refuge is your nature. And then the sweet practicality of that. Ah, how lovely to, in the presence of another beloved, having a little nightmare in their minds, having a thought. Emotions come from the space of believing a thought that isn't true. It's taking acid. There's no bigger psychedelic than the mind. The mind is the big mama of psychedelics. One of the definitions of psychedelics is to see things that aren't there. Who better than the mind to see things that aren't there? And the sweetness again to sit in the presence of another, full on tripping on an image, on a belief. The tres amigos de separation consciousness. So clear. Oh, identities imagined to be present. Oh, time is imagined to be present. Oh, causality is imagined to be present. Exciting. Choose your own adventure. Totally. And then all the fragrance or the opposite of fragrance, whatever the emotions might be, the stress, the cortisol, the nervous system, the fear, the tightness, the contraction, the rage, and oh my goodness, it's like, oh, I know this, my own self. And to sit there in available support. How may I serve? How may I help? And loving them completely. No part of you needs to change. No part of your emotions need to change. You're free to be as afraid as you are. Free to be as angry, as deluded, as tight, as whatever the appearance. And what intimacy. Oh my goodness. Through and through and through. Infinite, blissful, loving dragons soaring through infinite skies of oneself, one presence, one heart, one body, not just a book in the New Age section or a bumper sticker on a Subaru if you're in Colorado, but embodied recognition. Oh, a knowing. Yes. Oh, I know that and that. Oh, and that too, and that too. And what's so sweet in this knowing, I love the simultaneous education in this resting as awareness, as the refuge of what is. We have a education in the stability of awareness. Oh yeah, awareness still here. Awareness still here. Oh, awareness still here. Still here. Not one bit of collagen escape. Totally firm. Totally present. Totally fresh. Absolutely present. Pristine. Here. Oh, let's look again. Oh, yep. Awareness here. Awareness here. Oh, this sensation. Oh, yeah. Awareness here. Oh, now Peru. Now Colorado. Now fourth dimension. Now fifth dimension. Now, now Palladian starseed. Now 20th density being. Now awareness. Oh, yes. Awareness here. Awareness here. This lifetime, this expression, this expression. Awareness, oh yes, awareness here, awareness here. This mothership, this quadrant, this galactic cluster, this black hole, and that black hole, and through that black hole. Awareness, oh yes, awareness here, present here, awareness here, present, awareness here. We discover the stability, and in that stability, there's the simultaneous education in the nature of mind, which self releases. Oh, yes, every blink, self release. Every thought, self release. Every emotion, self releases. Every body, self releases. Every moment, self releases. Every thought, every belief system, every solar system, every sun, every expression, every civilization, every trend in consciousness, every belief, every religion, self release, self release, every story, self release, self release. Galactic sweet etch a sketch. All of it equally announcing the presence of awareness. All phenomena, if an atom was even possible, choir of angels, choir, trumpets announcing the stability of being. This is, oh yes, every beloved, aware and free. All anyone ever says, I'm aware and I'm free. It's quite fascinating. You turn on the television, even politicians, anyone. You hear, I'm aware, I'm a free. I'm aware, I'm free. You're aware, you're free. Doesn't mean we trivialize what's unfolding. Doesn't mean we're not informed and present. It actually means we're more informed and present, available to exist as energy of solutions and possibility. An intelligence not limited to past, not limited to how they did it, or they did it, or they did it. Completely welcoming if it was absolutely awesome and effective how they did it, and they did it, oh yes, so clear. This is the way. And available as spontaneous art of living, creative living, solution based living, while still loving and compassionate and listening and so aware that every heart has the piece of a puzzle of the puzzle. innocence. Oh my goodness. The innocence. People only live in their own worlds until they don't. Heartbreaking, all that unfolds from that misidentification. It's wondrous. You exist as causeless joy and endless heartbreak simultaneously. Pouring, pouring, pouring. This love, pouring, pouring, pouring. And kissing the palms of every beloved in the planet, at the feet, every beloved. I'm so excited for, I love the story, the dream of this invitation being recognized more and more. And having it be something that's not exclusive to a particular path or culture. Mm. It's like people are like, "Oh, it's so spiritual." I'm like, "This is not spiritual." Could be, could be. And the invitation is to notice what's deeper than a concept called spiritual. What's freer? What's equally present in each heart, as each soul. This awareness is not compartmentalized into heaps. This person gets a little scoop, this person gets a lot. This person gets a teeny tiny little. Can certainly seem that way in the surface level of things. But again, to the degree that we're willing to tell the truth of our right where we are-ness as this wholeness, all inclusive, this embrace that already is, it's impossible not to see that already present as each heart, each face, alive, beaming, as the divine, as the sacred, as the isness, the suchness, Buddha nature, present as each heart. Anyone like to share something? We have a few moments left. Anyone watching at home want to share something? Feel free to send a text there, or you can text me on my phone if you know my number. And it's so sweet to just be here as this. How lovely, you know. So honor your willingness to choose something like this. There's so many options. Play. Beloved beings of brain, the moment has arrived, planets have aligned, there is nowhere to hide, liberation's here. Beloved beings of bread, their wishes now come true. There's nothing left to do but give yourself to true liberation's here. No, not to the truth of governments or religions and their leaders, not to the truth of yesterday, tomorrow, or believers, but to the truth awake and vivid. Here is all that's perceived, the truth that knows your name and gives your lungs each breath you breathe. The truth that stares all in the face and only sees itself. A truth that sets its story free. Where love and nothing else, be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know I am. Beloved beings of breath, you always have been free. So caught up in this dream, sometimes it's hard to see. And liberation's here. The liberation that reveals liberation was never needed. For only things get liberated, only things get defeated. And you're not a thing that's in the realm of big or small. No, 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 you are not a thing that comes and goes. You're not a thing at all. You're the truth that stares all in the face and only sees itself. The truth that sets each story free. With love, with love, with love and nothing else. Be still and know. Be still and know. I am. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhiswaha. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhiswaha. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhiswaha. Gate, 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 parasamgate, bodhiswaha. Gate, gate, harate, bodhiswaha. Gate, 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 paragate, parasamgate, bodhiswaha, parasamgate. Gate, gate, parasamgate, gate, gate. Beyond the beyond the beyond the beyond the beyond. Closer than closer than closer than closer than closer. Beyond, 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 beyond. Closer, 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 beyond. And closer still, beyond. And closer still, beyond, beyond, beyond. Closer still, beyond, 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 and closer still, beyond, 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 and closer still. This is right here, just like this, just so, just right, just like this, just like this. Every atom in its place, every face in its place, every thought in its place, every moment in its place, just like this. Such an honor, such a joy, infinitely devoted, infinitely at the feet of. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Delighted, delighted, delighted. Thankful, thankful, thankful. All beings are peace now. May it be ever more obvious. May it be ever more fucking obvious. Ever more obvious. let me see, am I here next week? I believe I am here next week. On the 3rd, yes. March 3rd, I'm here. And March 10th, I'm here. Then I go to Kauai. Then I'm back for the 31st. No, not. Just a quick little announcement. If you know anyone in Asheville, North Carolina, we have a few spots left for a non-dual Aya ceremony, April 2nd through the 5th. No, through the 7th. April 2nd through the 7th. Through the 6th. Lord have mercy. Ashley. Sparkles. Two hearts. April. April 2nd to the 6th. Asheville, North Carolina. Non-dual Aya experience. Another retreat's happening on March 22nd to the 24th in Kauai. That is a 4E facilitator training retreat. And also March 26th to the 28th, or 27th to the 29th. It's all on my website. Yay. Another facilitator training for the 4E process. Amazing process of inquiry using the elements. You sit as air and you speak as air. You sit as water and you're guided to speak as water. You sit as earth and you're guided to speak as earth. You sit as fire and you're excited. Beautiful process of self-inquiry using the four elements. Um, and then also Aloha Waska on the Big Island in the end of April, beginning of May, April 30th through May 5th. Another non-dual Aya retreat in Hawaii. Really sweet. They're so powerful. This will be our first, second. This will be our third or fourth one. Um, all the micro ecosystems on the island and getting to be with the medicine and then getting to be in ocean and waterfall and volcano. It's a profound, beautiful experience. Um, what else? What else? What else? That's May, July. No, also in May. So a few weeks after, Costa Rica. It's called Awakened Heart, and it's a Aya plant medicine 7-day retreat in the Diamante Valley. It's called the Jungle Gayborhood, and this is a retreat for beloveds who identify as gay, bi, men, masculine identified, gay, bi, trans, masculine identified beloveds. A sweet brotherhood in the jungle neighborhood, Costa Rica. Um, Plant medicine, body work, um, movement meditation, and of course all the incredible excursions throughout the rainforest that will be on. So that's May 18th to the 24th. May 18th to the 24th. And then there's more facilitator training retreats in in um, in Boulder in September. And one more thing that I totally forgot to mention. We have a sweet, intimate, non-dual weekend retreat here in my home on April. It's Easter weekend, April 20th to the 22nd, right? No, April 18th to the 20th. April 18th to the 20th, and that's called The Empty Tomb. And we're going to explore themes of Easter, and we're going to have a foot washing ceremony and do 2 or 3 ceremonies depending on the group energy and how deep we want to go together. So that's April 20th to the 22nd here in my home. It's limited to only 6 spots, and we have 4 spots left for this in April. All right. Yay. And go to my website, ashruiz.com, for more info, and or you can just message me and say, hey, what's up? Can you tell me about this again? And I'd be happy to respond. All right. Much love and blessings. Feel free to leave a donation or leave a donation over there. And we'll see you soon. Many blessings. Feel free to watch. I have infinite satsangs, so many satsangs. And in my experience, it doesn't matter when they were filmed, it's only ever this moment speaking to this moment. So if you want to watch some more, go ahead and watch. They're all over YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And it's only ever again this moment speaking to this moment. All right. Bye.